Hi guys, and welcome back. We're here with,
I'm Mike Marino, and this is the London Project Live.
and of course, we can't forget the amazing...
Cory and Michaelis from Seattle, Washington. So happy to be in Dubai with you.
They even watered down toys for kids these days, don't you agree? They watered down toys so kids can't hurt themselves. A friend of mine bought his son a plastic purple truck for Christmas. A plastic purple truck. But to put a recall on the toy, because there's something wrong with the paint. If the paint gets in your kid's mouth, you could die of paint poisoning, so there's a recall on the toy truck. So you know what I said? Maybe there should be a recall on your kid. Because you don't lick a truck, you push it.
I'm so excited. This week, I saw you both do amazing comedy. So tell me a little bit about your history.
Yeah, well, I grew up not funny at all. And we're still waiting to see. But you found it funny, which is great.
I did.
I was a high school teacher for years and years and thought I was going to do that till the end of my life. And then one day, me and a buddy decided, hey, let's try comedy once. And I was only going to do it once. And we took a comedy workshop, tried it once. And I didn't stop, and he stunk, so he stopped. But and now here we are. That was 12 years ago. I've quit teaching high school. I don't do that any longer. And now comedy is my full-time gig for the last 5 years. And it's a pretty good life to be hanging out with cool people in Dubai doing stand-up. I should tell you this. I should have opened with it. I have a creepy confession. It's really creepy. The other night, I went online and bought my fiance. And that's it. She'll be here in a couple days from the Ukraine, and I'm super excited, you guys. Amazon primed her, free shipping, you know what I mean? Like that's...
I never started out as a comedian. I never wanted to be funny, and I didn't think I was funny. I grew up doing TV commercials in New York City. I had an apple pie face when I was a kid. I've been in the business since I'm about 5, 6 years old.
So you're a veteran.
I guess I'm a veteran of the acting world, and then I started doing stand-up I was around 28, 29 years old when I went out to Los Angeles to do TV out there, and everybody kept saying, you know, you wise guys from New Jersey, the way you talk, the way you act, it's funny. And I actually would get upset because I went to acting school. I didn't want to be a clown. I didn't want to be funny, but I felt like I had a flair for it. I wanted to enjoy, and I was getting more work as a comedian than I was as an actor. So, and now I'm addicted to it, and I get to go around the world, get to be on shows with you, and come to Dubai with Cory, and this is great. Look at us.
My toy truck wasn't made of plastic, it was made of metal. It's called a Tonka truck. You remember Tonka truck? Tonka truck. And if that paint chip got in your mouth, you chewed it like tobacco.
You said you started at 29.
I was about 29 years old, you know,
Me
a couple
too.
years ago.
Me too,
Both of
29. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's
5 years ago
brave.
for each of us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty brave to take that leap. So I know you were a teacher before, but
Right.
what made you want to just take that leap?
I got a divorce. And I was no
This is also
longer
part of your act.
responsible for someone else's well-being. And I figured, hey, I'm all out on my own now, and I'm gonna go for it. And in teaching, they give you a year off. You can take a year off, go explore something else. Yeah. And I did that. And then you come back and they go, hey, do you want to teach anymore? And I was like, well, what age? And they were like, teenagers. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm out. So I just 5 years ago threw in the towel on teaching and decided to give it a shot, not knowing for sure that it was going to work out. I hedged my bet a little bit. I substitute taught to make some money and afford food. And now it's just full-time comedy. Also, it's not true. I'm single. I'm single because I married my high school sweetheart, and she didn't.
Earlier, you were telling me about how you take from life. Like a lot of your material is from life events. So talk me through that. How do you, go through an experience and then make it comedy?
Well, I don't know if I can speak for the two of us, but I think maybe I could just a little bit. Comedians regurgitate what everybody sees. So anything that I see, all I have to do is talk about it, and the people in the audience are going to go, oh, my God, that's right. That's what we saw. We saw that, too. Like, we're sitting here in a nice restaurant. but there's a big Ferris wheel behind me, and I've never seen anything that big in my entire life. So I guarantee you, I will talk about that tomorrow night on stage, and I will have the people laughing.
Well, you'll have to give the London Project its share since you're taking material from here.
London Project, we'll share it.
Yeah.
Wait, it's like the London Wheel. Is that coincidental? You don't know?
The London Wheel?
Is it like the London Wheel?
It's not, well, it's a take on the London
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a London Project in London?
There isn't actually.
What the heck is going on here?
You're gonna have to wait and see. There's big plans for the London
Oh, that's
Project,
exciting.
So, yeah, there isn't one yet, but it's coming.
And I heard it's coming to the States, so I can't wait. I can't wait.
Definitely. And
yeah.
you've been performing in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good segue into some of your...
I know what I'm doing.
So tell me a bit about your performances in Vegas. Does your material have to be different?
He's performed more than me there, I'm sure, and I think this is fair to say, it's tourist audiences, right? So that means everybody from the world, but mostly from the States. And people from Kentucky are significantly different than people from Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, or New Jersey, or New York. They're significantly different. So relatable content is important to consider, and you got to make sure your act isn't too regionally specific. And it really is helpful performing in Vegas to then come to an international gig, or he works cruise ships all the time, and be able to do work that is relatable content for a very mix of different people with different backgrounds and social perspectives. So
actually, Mike, you were just saying you were on a boat last night. So how was your material very different to your stand-up earlier in the week?
Well, when we were entertained on cruise ships, sometimes there's children. So some jokes you can't do. And then there's no children, and
all
there's
of
some
my jokes, basically.
You know what game you can't play anymore? They outlawed the game. Pin the tail on the donkey. You'll remember pin the tail on the donkey? Can't play the game. Anybody know why? Because you blindfolded your child. You can't blindfold your child. That's not right. And after you blindfolded your child, then what did you do? Spun him around. You spun him around until he got so dizzy he couldn't walk straight. Then you handed him a sharp object and said, now go between all your friends and find the donkey's ass on the wall. And I don't know who had more fun, the parents or the kids, because when you were spinning around, you were stabbing your friends.
I'm really interested in understanding whether you have an alter ego. So Beyonce has Sasha Fierce.
Mm-hmm.
So as a comedian, are you just yourself, or do you have to become someone else on stage?
Every comedian is a heightened version of themselves. Anywhere from a little bit to I'm just a little bit of a heightened version of myself on stage. Mike is probably more of a heightened version of himself than I am of myself, right?
Well, Mike
because
has a special name, don't you?
I got the nickname New Jersey's Bad Boy when I first moved to California because of the way I sound. But I'm not really.
You're not
well,
really
I could be, but I'm not really a bad boy.
Who's asking?
And I try to keep my material clean. But you are an alter ego. You become bigger than what you are in real life because look what we do. You stand in front of thousands of people and you have to have the confidence to take them on a ride for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So you have to have something that makes you think, I can do this in a big way and keep on going.
So basically, you're your own hype man during the show.
I would think so, yeah.
That's what I actually love.
I have a guy with a clock necklace around hyping me up on stage most of the time, but he couldn't afford to come.
I loved that about your show because I loved how you just started laughing and then the audience started laughing. And I wasn't quite sure what we were laughing at, but just because you were laughing, everyone else started laughing. So,
well, sometimes I laugh at my own material because I think it's funny, and I'm also making things up as I go along. And then I realize some things that I say ignite people into laughter that they didn't see coming, and I could see them. So when I see them laugh and I see them grab their stomach and I see them fall on the floor, that makes me laugh. And then I actually start to really enjoy my job. Like, I can't wait to go to work. This is the only job where you get up in the morning and go, I can't wait to go to work.
My parents have been together 37 years, that's what I said. I'm always asking what the secret is to people that have been married for a long time, because I always want to know. Best answer that I ever got to what's the secret was from a couple that had been married for 40 years. That's a long time. 40 years, the dude looked me dead in the eye and goes, Neither one of us wanted custody of the kids.
We're talking about alter egos, but I can't help but notice your T-shirt. Like, what is that about?
Quite some time ago, I was doing a joke on a talk show, and it was at the time where President Trump was running for president. He kept saying, "Make America great again." So when I went on the talk show, I just felt like saying, you know, I'm Italian, I'm from New Jersey. What if I was the first Italian president? And we came up with a saying called "Make America Italian Again." And since I ran for president in 2016, I obviously didn't win. I figured I'm going to go again, make America Italian again in 2024, Marino 2024. So anybody, anywhere around the world can actually vote for me by going to my YouTube channel.
Okay, well, if you're looking for sponsors,
follow me on Instagram and vote for me. I ran for president in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost, but maybe I'll try again in 2024. Go head to head, or can I be your vice president?
Yeah, you know, you come with us.
Vice presidents are useless. That's such an easy job.
it looks like anyone can become president.
Yeah,
these days,
well, in America, yeah.
So yeah, and I wanted to ask you. We've talked so much about your material, but we haven't said where you're performing.
Yes.
So where can people come and watch your stand-up?
Tomorrow night, we are at Zabeel House. Very excited about that. It's a really nice hotel, and the room's awesome for comedy.
Gorgeous.
Thursday
What
night,
time?
8:30 p.m. And you should go to thelaughterfactory.com, thelaughterfactory.com to get tickets to any of the shows. Grand Millennium, TCOM Thursday, Grand Millennium Business Bay Friday night. All 8:30, all at thelaughterfactory.com. Myself, Mike Marino, and our buddy Irish Mike Rice. And we're very, very, I mean, we've been off 4 days. That's a lot. That's a long time.
It's going to be a great show. You're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to go home
chomping at the bit to do our bits.
Okay, and we can't end this podcast without the catchphrase. So I'm gonna lead.
Oh, you're gonna do it?
Go ahead.
Mike's been teaching me a few things. So.
All right.
You don't hear nothing. You don't see nothing. You don't say nothing. And he's gone now. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow. You're an official wise guy.
She's the
Holy
wise
smokes,
guy.
you got it
Marino
down.
2024.
Be there.
See you.
Marino Michaelis.